Hello, it's a marvelous day out today. Welcome back to our channel and welcome if you are new here. Today we've got a special video because we are bringing on my better half. The other half of Marval, Valerie, is with us. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy what we have presented to you today.
Side on duty, not too much or too sweet. Ooh, passion from yours truly. Let me know how you feel. Hope I'm not in too deep. Miwa, Phoebe, Fija, Fever. Won't be alone forever. Get through the storm together. Ooh, girl, make some room. I know you still, you're nice, sweet, smooth.
Hi guys, how are ya? I hope that you all are doing well. It's me, Valerie, the other better half of Marval. Let me stop. We've been waiting for this. I know you guys have been, and I'm here. Today is just going to be like an introduction video of who we are and what this channel is going to be all about. So, like Marcus said, sit back, relax, and we hope that you enjoy what we have in store for you. And we hope that you stay tuned. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to A Marvelous, Accessible Life. See you in a little bit.
Okay, folks, we're back now, and we want to get started on our introduction as to who we are and why we're doing this channel, what our channel is going to be about. Of course, I'm Marcus, and this is my beautiful wife,
Valerie.
finally with us. So a brief introduction. We are what they are calling in today's terms an interabled couple. That simply means that
he's inter and I'm able.
Something like that, but not quite. It means really that one, there's partners or couples where one person is disabled and the other one has full mobility. So in our case, my wife is a paraplegic, so she has mobility issues and I'm her caretaker. So we are an interabled couple. Having said that, our channel is geared towards a few things. One is to help other couples or individuals who have disabilities, to help inspire them to go out and do things they otherwise think they may not. It's easy when you're down and out, you can get into a depressive state, or you get stuck in the house, or you think you can't do this or that. And we want to show you that you actually can. Yeah, so another aspect of our channel is going to be about showing businesses such as hotels, restaurants,
amusement parks,
public spaces in general, where there may be opportunities for improvement to help people with disabilities become more essentially ADA compliant.
Right.
Areas of opportunity. And also to recommend such places that we may venture to show you how accessible they in fact are,
right,
which will be a plus. And lastly, we do want to be a voice for people with disabilities to perhaps petition the government through the legislature, our local Congress people, to help them better understand the needs of people with disabilities, perhaps eliminating the red tape that goes along with it, underserving our community, not being visible enough to let people in the disabled community know what is actually available to them. We had rough time seeking and searching out information
Right.
For help. So we'll get into that in later videos.
Right.
Yeah. So again, this is my beautiful wife, Valerie. And you, Valerie, why don't you go ahead and tell them about yourself and how you became disabled? Were you born this way? Did something happen?
I was born this way.
Beautiful.
Let me stop. I'm joking. Hi. I was in a motorcycle accident back in 2001. I had a T6, T7 spinal cord fracture, pelvic fracture, head, skull injury, and a couple of wounds here and there, broken ribs. I have a wire in this finger, and because it was broken. And I have 2 titanium rods, bilateral rods connected with wire down in my back to correct my spine. That was supposed to help me stabilize me. They said I wasn't going to be able to walk again, stand up again, or eat up again.
Now you still eat up pretty much, right? Yeah.
Definitely, I eat up a lot. They said I was going to need 24-hour round-the-clock care. And they said I wasn't going to be able to have a child ever also. However, we know that there is the Most High, and He healed me able to walk again within that same year. The accident happened in August, and within December of 2001, I was walking with the assistance with a cane. And then came along in 2004, our baby girl.
Our miracle baby.
Yes, our miracle baby. And then I started having complications in 2014 with my left side. I thought I was having a stroke. I was having pain in my left arm. And we went to several different doctors, had several different surgeries, and they were saying that it was this and it was that. But they eventually said it was a syrinx in my spine. And the syrinx is when you have fluid in your spine. And they said they may have come from the previous accident, but they weren't sure. However, we went to a surgeon, and he said, a neurosurgeon, and he said that he was going to be able to put a shunt in my spine to divert the fluid from my spine to my abdomen, and that would alleviate all the pain. That was in 2017.
Why don't you talk about how bad the pain actually was in your left arm?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the pain started in my left arm, and it was so bad that I couldn't wear a shirt on my arm. That's how bad it was. When the wind blew, it was hurt. It hurt. And I had to roll my sleeves up. So if you saw me out and about, I would have one sleeve down and this one up. It's not because I was trying to be cooler or anything. It was because this arm I couldn't take any pressure or pain in it. The pain in this arm was so bad that I couldn't tolerate anything on it. And that's when the neurosurgeon said that, that I could, make it better or whatever. So we had the surgery. I had the surgery done in June of 2017. And that's when everything went haywire. He went in and nicked my spine, and I'm a complete para now. Before I was an incomplete para. And now I'm a complete para. I can't walk, incontinent, and yeah.
Yeah, you lost a lot of function from essentially from your navel down, your belly button down. Where you were incomplete before, you had more sensation. You were able to basically live a somewhat normal life from your belly button down. But since then you became what they call a complete para, which means basically your connections have completely been disassociated. You have lost function from that point.
Right.
So that's the difference in an incomplete and a complete. They're both paraplegic, but one is more serious. So he made her worse after the surgery than before she went in.
Right. And it's hard to talk about. So that's why from time to time, my champ, my hero here, he's going to jump in when he knows that I'm feeling it. So bear with me.
Well, you're my tough cookie, baby. You're the strongest woman I know.
I try. It's hard, but I push through. However, so he went in and messed up everything, and
Yeah, well, we can, when you went to the hospital after the surgery, the doctor called me and told me everything was great. It was a success. I was ecstatic because it was, when you're operating on somebody's spine, it's always a high risk surgery. But immediately after I went to see her in recovery, when they brought her back to the room, she told me right away that she could, I think I touched your leg.
Right, yeah. You were touching my leg, and I didn't even know that he was touching my leg.
She couldn't feel it.
And because I was still high on drugs, so I was happy and I was smiling. I'm like, oh, the pain is going away. I was excited about that, not even realizing that he was touching my leg. And then he said, oh, that was good. That's good. I'm glad you're feeling better or whatever. And then he was touching my leg, and he said, what did you say? You said, I wasn't acknowledging him. I wasn't saying anything.
I said, you can't feel any of this?
And I was like,
so that's when I knew something
Right.
was severely wrong. And we immediately told the nurse to get the doctor that something was wrong. And they just basically were very, very nonchalant about the whole situation. And said, this normally happens.
It'll come back eventually.
It'll come back.
It'll take time to come back.
Yes.
Just make an appointment, come back and see me
in 6 months.
6 months, and we'll go from there. But I had my follow-up before that was 3 months. I think my follow-up, because I went into immediate inpatient rehab after that.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What essentially, they left her without any direction, without any.
Oh, that's right, because they were going to send me home.
Yeah, they were going to send her right home. And I'm saying to myself, what do you mean send her right home? We discovered that she was fully incontinent. She could no longer stand or walk. I didn't know what to do. At that time, I was not a caretaker as I am now. I knew nothing about caring for somebody who had such immediate and constant needs as she did. Mm-hmm. So after going through all levels of the hospital management and executive staff up to the family that owned the hospital, we were then given almost a month of inpatient rehab. They trained me and on how to take care of someone, and through a lot of fighting and a lot of being an advocate for my wife, we were sent home with a hospital bed and a totally new life for the negative. We came out a lot worse than when we went in.
And the pain got worse.
So they didn't resolve anything.
Didn't resolve anything. The pain is still there. The pain is worse.
Yeah.
I can tolerate stuff on my arms now, but
I think it's from the medication that you're taking
it's
now.
from the medication that I'm taking, and I'm more used to it now. So but if somebody bumps up against me and I'm not aware of it, then that hurts. It really, really hurts. However, but I'm more aware of it now. So I'm in pain all day, every day. The only time when I'm not in pain is when I'm asleep because I don't feel it. But I'm not in as much pain as I could be or should be if I wasn't on the medication that I'm on.
Yeah. Now, many of you may be asking at this time, well, did you sue this doctor or this hospital? That's usually the number one question we get.
Here comes the fun part.
Yes. So there's something in the state of Florida that is actually in the law in many other states as well. Florida is one of the worst. And they have this law that is called sovereign immunity. And we're going to go into detail about that in future videos. But essentially what that does is protects hospitals and doctors from being sued. So in Florida, you have almost no recourse because the cost of litigation is so high, and the amount of cases that is taken up every year, it has to go to the legislature to get approved, is only a few out of the many hundreds. So it becomes cost prohibitive for lawyers to come against a hospital that's protected under sovereign immunity. It's not all hospitals, but you need to know which ones. And we'll go into that in another video, but that's just a side note.
And the doctor that worked on me didn't have malpractice insurance.
He didn't carry insurance. Very big wake-up call for us,
Right.
and hopefully we can inspire everyone who has to deal with a hospital or a doctor to check up on these things, because if something catastrophic happens and your life is turned upside down, you may have no recourse
Right.
when you're covered under such laws. So we'll move on from that part. So
That was in 2017.
2017.
And then what life went down. It was a roller coaster. It's been a roller coaster.
Yes.
My left leg started swelling.
At the end of the year, that same year, near the end of the year.
End of the same year, my left thigh, my left leg started swelling up, and he was telling me that we need to go to the doctor. I'm stubborn. I didn't want to go, and especially after what happened previously in that year, I really didn't want to go to a hospital or a doctor. So we went to another hospital and went to their ER eventually. This was after a week of trying to get me to go.
Yes, and I understood why she did not want to go, because she had been through so much already, but I knew something was not right with her legs swelling and increasing the way it was. So she eventually relented, and we went to the emergency room.
Yep.
And then what happened?
The doctor saw me and said I had a DVT, which is deep vein thrombosis. That means I had a blood clot in my leg. So he gave me Xarelto, and he said, okay, take this and you should be fine. So I started taking it, and I started bleeding out.
Yeah, well, let's talk about real quick, briefly, this
Xarelto
category of drugs.
Yes, Xarelto is one of the types of blood thinners. There's Xarelto,
Eliquis,
and
the other one begins with a P. I will put it up on the screen because I don't remember it this time, but it's a certain class of drugs where there actually is no
reversal
remedy if something goes wrong.
There's no remedy for Xarelto, but it's a remedy for the other ones.
Right, the class that I'm talking about is Xarelto, Eliquis, and the other one that begins with a P. There's no remedy for that should you begin to bleed or have an issue with it. I believe warfarin has an antidote, so to speak. So she ended up bleeding profusely after a few days, to the point where
I was losing color.
She was losing color.
I was losing weight. I like the part about losing weight.
Well, that I couldn't contain it because I had to begin. I'm taking care of everything now. I have to help her get dressed. I have to shower. Everything that has to do with keeping her going, I have to be there to help her. So while she's bleeding profusely, I'm telling her we need to go to the doctor. We need to go to the emergency room.
He was telling me that for probably about 3 days, and then he just put his foot down again. This was a week after was it a week after I was taking the medicine?
Yeah, about a week.
It was a week after I was taking the Xarelto. It was getting worse. And then after 3 days of saying that I needed to go, I relented. Well, yeah.
Belligerently relented. Well, I don't even know if you relented so much, actually, now that I think about it. I was telling you we need to go, and she actually lost consciousness.
Right.
So this became then a very frightful and emergent situation. We called 911, and I had to get her to emergency room the quickest way possible. So we called an ambulance. She did come to right before the ambulance got there.
And when I came to, and I started back fussing again. I was like, I don't need to go.
Just fussing.
I wasn't mean fussing, but I was just like,
she didn't want to go.
I was more being so a brat than more so being.
But you had good reason. And I get it.
And then he opened the door, and that's when I saw the stretcher out. I said, "Who ordered a stretcher? Why are they here?" And he was like, "We're here for you, ma'am, I think." But then I got on the stretcher, and went to the emergency room again, and
she lost consciousness again to the point where
this time they were put me in an MRI.
Yeah.
And when he was putting me in the MRI, fast forward to 2017 and 2017. Right. We were at the ER, and the tech was putting me into the MRI, and I kept telling him, I said, something's not right. I don't feel good. I'm not feeling good. And that's when I lost consciousness. And this was so weird. I had never ever felt this feeling before. It felt like an out-of-body experience. Not actually me looking down at me, but me still being there, but not being able to move, talk, or anything. And I could hear everything that was going on around me. I just couldn't say anything. And I heard the nurse say, she doesn't have a pulse. She doesn't have a pulse. And I could hear them rushing and bringing a car in. And I immediately started praying, and it took all the energy that I had, the strength that I had to say, I'm okay.
But now, mind you, we could hear the nurse yelling,
oh yeah,
we don't have a pulse.
Right, they were in the room right across the hall.
Yeah, so this was becoming an extraordinarily traumatic experience for not only she going through this, but our daughter was there.
And your parents,
my father and stepmother, they came right on time, I'll tell you. But that was a traumatic experience. As a matter of fact, I believe it happened twice to you.
Yeah, the first time I remember. The second time I don't remember losing consciousness. But they were getting ready to shock me right when I was waking up and telling her I'm okay. And I've never been shocked before, and I don't know what happened because I have the rods in my back. So I really don't know.
But what happened is you were essentially bleeding out.
Yeah.
She was losing so much blood. She was starting to lose function of her organs.
Right.
So she was losing consciousness. So they knew they had to do something quick.
They immediately started giving me blood.
Started giving her blood.
They checked my blood count. It was a 3.4.
Yeah, it might have been a little lower than that, but it was critical. It was critical.
So I got a lot of lot of liters of blood.
Yeah.
For that, and then I had an embolism done.
Embolization.
I keep saying that. Had embolization done to stop the bleeding, and that was December 31st of 2017.
Right. So when you have a bleeding problem like this, essentially what happens is they have to go in and they have to cut off the artery.
Cauterize?
Yeah, they cauterize the artery to stop the bleeding, because other than that, you will bleed out. So that's one of the risks. It's a rare thing that happens, and it just so happened to happen to Valerie. So
it said the main reason why I didn't bleed out as much as I did is because of the green fill. I have the fill.
And that actually doesn't
the blood clot?
Yeah, that doesn't keep you from bleeding out.
No, my bad.
That protects you from blood clots from going to your heart.
Okay, well, that helps.
Or your lungs.
That helps some kind of way.
Pulmonary embolism. Yeah.
Cut that part out. All the way out.
We might keep that. I don't know.
Hey, okay, look.
It's interesting.
And that's fine. And we're back. Yeah. So, yeah, they did the embolization. That was done, and then following up. 2018, what happened? 2018, I hurt my shoulder.
Yes.
I was we were at the greatest place on earth.
Happiest place.
The happiest place, happiest place on earth. Disney World.
Doesn't get much better than that.
And
we left sad, though, I can tell you this much.
I know, right? We were I was on the scooter, and I was going to therapy, and they were showing me how to transfer back and forth safely from the bed to the wheelchair, from the bed to the scooter, and so on and so forth. And I was doing good up until I wasn't. And we were, everybody was getting in the bed, and I was getting my stuff all out that night, and I was getting ready to transfer from the scooter to the bed, and it was at the perfect level. It wasn't too high, it wasn't too low, it was perfect. And I didn't lock the handle of the scooter like I normally do, and my body went one way, shoulder and arm went another way, and torn rotator cuff.
Catastrophic tear, mind you.
Yeah.
Now, normally I am there to help her transfer.
But I told him, I got it, go to sleep, I'm fine.
I don't even remember you telling me that, but
Because he was tired. Because we had been up all day,
yeah.
and he was tired. And I was like, go ahead and go to bed, get some rest. I think at the part when I said go to bed and get some rest, I think he was he was out.
in between. But I mean, I really understand why, because your desire to gain independence
Right.
was so strong, because you were not used to being fully dependent on anyone.
Right, and I was trying to give you a break because you do so much.
But I appreciate it. But so this happened.
Hindsight
We ended
2020.
up, yeah. It's better to be safe than
Listen,
sorry.
they called we called 911.
Yeah.
5 big buff dudes came in. I said, wait. They came in, I'm like, did y'all think I was 300 pounds?
Well, I'm glad they did because they had to maneuver you a certain
I
ways.
know, it was funny to
because
me.
her shoulder was bad. So
I'm always cracking jokes and always laughing, trying to drown out the tears a lot of the times. But this time I was like, I looked around and they came in with the stretcher, and then one guy came in on this side, and they all had to pick up a limb and make sure they picked me up right and not hurt my arm anymore. So they were like, no ma'am, we just came and make sure that you get on the stretcher safely. I'm like, okay.
Yes. So we ended up in the hospital again on this trip, and we had to, when we left after they got her stable and we left, now I'm normally helping her transfer into the car. It's quite difficult actually, because I was still relatively new at it, but now she has lost the use of her left arm. So when she's normally
have been in the sling for a good while,
and you're normally helping me to get into the car, I didn't know how I was going to get you in there, and they actually helped me get you in there. And I just said, it's me, you, and God getting you out.
That part. And God came through. You came through like a champ.
Believe me, he gave me strength, because I don't know how we ended up doing it, but we got through that where I could then, handle it and maneuver.
Saw several orthopedic surgeons. They said they didn't want to work on my shoulder because I was too young. Exactly. I'm like, and they said it was going to only last 10 years. Didn't want to do it because you're too young. And I'm thinking, 10 years without pain is fine with me. But they didn't want to do it. So fast forward to 2019. 2019 was a decent year.
Yeah, but you were still trying to...
I was still trying to get better, going through therapy. In and out of therapy, the hospital a couple of times, but not anything major.
Right.
Then 2020 hit.
That is the end of part 1 of this video. Stay tuned for part 2. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, share, and comment, as it does tremendously help out the channel. And always remember, despite what challenges life may bring you, you too